Labor has made a sudden and dramatic shift in its tax strategy in a bid to neutralise National's attacks. The party now says it would wait until a second term of a Labor government before implementing any changes from its tax working group. Grant Robertson will join us live later on Checkpoint, but first here's our political reporter Craig McCulloch.
It was a big call by Jacinda Ardern after she took over the leadership to open the door to a potential tax overhaul in Labour's first term. And without certainty of what that could look like, in also came a major attack campaign.
There's only one way to stop Labour's taxes: party vote National.
Labour today slammed that door shut, promising any changes recommended by its tax working group won't come into effect until after the 2020 election.
People will go to the polls knowing exactly what I intend.
The sudden backdown comes after a poll this week put Labour well behind National, suggesting some of the mud on tax was starting to stick.
There certainly has been an environment of scaremongering, but I also have had feedback that people want that certainty. So we've balanced the urgency we feel around tackling the housing crisis with also providing certainty for people.
So here's what's now on the table.
Everyone ready?
Labour won't increase income tax, GST or corporate tax. It won't introduce an inheritance tax, and any capital gains or land tax won't come in until after 2020, and never on the family home.
We will have done the work, we will have passed the legislation, but nobody will be paying any tax as a result of the working group's outcomes until the 1st of April 2021.
Labour's finance spokesperson Grant Robertson. What it will do is bring in a water royalty on commercial users, mainly farmers and water bottlers. That amount won't be finalised until Labour becomes government, but it has suggested 1 or 2 cents for every 1,000 litres of water. It'll also whack a $25 levy on international tourists and bring in a regional fuel tax in Auckland.
The National Party have been spinning lies that Labor is increasing personal taxes. We are not. New Zealanders will not be paying more in personal income taxes in the future under a Labor government than they are today.
Any questions?
National's not buying it. Its leader Bill English says Labour's move barely changes a thing.
They've been pushed into postponing something that they really wanted to do. They've talked for years about speculation in the housing market, and it turns out now they won't follow through because they think there's a big political risk with it.
But his attack fell on deaf ears on the campaign trail today, Mr English facing a tough crowd at a pack house in Gisborne.
Hello.
In a speech to workers, he railed against Labour's tax plan, only to be immediately challenged over his government's approach to the minimum wage.
$3.75 over 9 years. Now, how would you like it if your hourly rate went up $3.75 over a period of 9 years?
Well, it would be quite a challenge. I've got no doubt about that.
I'll tell you what, it's a
you got a bit
huge
of
challenge.
And a huge challenge still for both parties in the final days of the campaign. By no means will Labour's move end the tax debate. National's still stressing the big difference on income tax. Its cuts would kick in next year, Labour would cancel them. Instead, Labour would put that money into health and education and boost working for families, which it says will leave 70% of families better off. For Checkpoint, Craig McCulloch.